All right, y'all, and welcome back to another episode. We are about ready to sit down and talk to Damaris again from Vitamin D TV. But before we do that, I wanted to jump on real quick and let you guys know that moving forward, we are going to be moving all podcast episodes over to the new channel, The Morning Vibe. Now, if you guys have not checked that out yet, I got a link in the description box down below where you can go check out The Morning Vibe. We're doing daily podcast uploads over there, as well as the bigger creators. Now, on Saturday mornings, if we do sit down with a big creator like Damaris, like we are today, or some of the other guys that we get to work with, we are going to put the first 15 to 30 minutes of that on the Cameraman Ron channel, but then the rest of it's going to be broken down into mini episodes over the course of the next week over on The Morning Vibe. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to sit down. We're going to show you guys about 15 to 20 minutes, 30 minutes maybe of this podcast with Damaris and I. And then after that, we're going to break those up into mini sessions over on The Morning Vibe. So make sure if you guys have not subscribed to that channel yet, you jump over, smash that subscribe button so you can get your podcast fix on. Now let's get to talking to old Vitamin D. You do it today.
Is it on me?
It's on you today. I'll hit the button when it's time to play the intro music. It's all on you. You tell them what we're doing while we're back.
Well, I mean, I think they understood or they saw for themselves that we kind of have some great chemistry between us two, and things were just flowing.
They were definitely talking good in the comments. They liked what was happening a week or so ago when we got to God, just hit the table with my knee.
More coffee.
We got coffee today. We're gonna roll the intro music because man, I keep thinking I'm gonna change it and I just can't. I can't change it. I don't have it in me to change this song right now.
Once you start it, just own it.
I know. We pretty much got to leave it there. Well, guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Vitamin D.
Yeah.
D and I have been doing a lot together over the last 10 or 12 days, something like that. And we're like, dude, we need to shoot another podcast. That was a lot of fun. Like we rolled right through it. You guys love the topics we were covering, and we're like, well, we don't have to limit it to one. We can come back in and have a cup of coffee and just sit down and chit chat. And we got a lot to talk about this week.
Yeah.
Like we've been fishing. You guys, do you know when you're dropping that video?
Mine will probably be out maybe Saturday, maybe.
Okay, so you have definitely already saw my version of the video from our fishing trip last week. You may have already seen Damaris's, maybe not. So we won't talk about anything that happened on your channel. You guys will have already seen mine at this point because it comes out the day we're recording this. But you guys will have had a week to sit on that. So we've had some pretty interesting stuff over the last week. First off, I want to talk about just the fact that we were out there.
Right.
You and I touched on that a little bit when we were out on the boat. Conditions were not ideal last Friday.
Not at all.
I mean, they just weren't.
Right. Sometimes, as content creators, we have to go out and bear the weather if we want to stay consistent with our content and provide for you guys. So, what was that? Friday was definitely not the
It was
best
miserable.
conditions.
Let's be honest. It was miserable.
It was definitely miserable. We went out there to get on a specific species of fish, and the spot that we were in to try and get hooked up on these fish was just super blown out. It was
unfishable.
The winds were 15 to 20 and gusting up to 25 miles per hour.
Out of the north. Well, that's where we get our cold weather. So when we get that north wind, that's when we're freezing. Or
and
not freezing, but we're cold.
And it was 46 or something like that.
Yeah, and it never changed. Like when we got to the boat ramp, it was still a little dark. And then we're like, it'll warm up a little bit as the sun comes up. Well, the sun never came out. We were dealing with cloud cover all day long, and it just never warmed up. We'd been fishing for like 3.5 hours. D looked at his watch, and he's like, bro, it's 47. We've gained 1 degree since we got out here 3.5 hours ago. I was like, I can feel it for sure.
Ridiculous for sure. But we still had a banter day worth of fishing for you
We
guys.
really did. And that's the thing, guys. You get questions all the time, and I'm sure you get them too, about how I don't know how to stay consistent. I didn't catch fish today, or whatever the case may be. One, sometimes you have to just create content for yourself. You got to make it happen. Yeah. I didn't really want to get out of bed Friday morning. Like you said, it was 45 degrees. The wind was just howling out of the north. Not very many people were going to go out there and fish in the conditions that we fished on Friday morning, but both of us needed a video.
Your truck was literally the only vehicle at the launch.
Well, when we got there. There was one other truck when we got back, but
you gonna spill the beans?
Well, they've already saw my video at this point
right.
on my channel, so they're gonna know that there was what all happened with that. I'm sure that video has already been watched a few times over. But yeah, we were, for those of you that are just tuning in from Damaris's channel, when we got back, ours was not the only truck at the launch any longer. So, but again, you guys can check out the videos to get that. I don't want to get too deep into what those, because we want to make sure you guys are watching those videos. But the moral of the story is you have to be consistent, and sometimes that's hard. Right. And it's okay that it's hard. Nobody said it was going to be easy. You know, when we rolled into this and we started talking about this kind of stuff, or you decided you want to be a content creator, nobody's like, hey, it's a piece of cake. This is cakewalk.
Yeah. Anybody can do it.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody can try to do it.
Yes.
But those who are going to do it and be successful at it, that's a different story.
Yeah. And I talked about, I don't know if you watched any of the podcasts from over on the Morning Vibe this last week, but on Monday's episode, I talked about the time frame, which in my opinion really is and I don't want to get too deep in it. I'll link that video like right here or something. You guys can go check it out. But the most crucial time for a content creator, and tell me if you think I'm wrong, is that time frame from when you get monetized until you actually start making a little bit of money, because it does not happen at the same time.
Absolutely. So I've had people ask me about that. So how do you get monetized? And once you become monetized, like what happens? So first of all, you have to give yourself to YouTube, and basically you're proving to them that you're going to be serious about creating content.
Yep.
They're not just going to monetize anybody just because they started a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
You have to gain 1,000 subscribers, and then you have to have 4,000
watch hours. Mm-hmm.
So that right there, I've had people say, oh, I'm not even going to waste my time. They want me to work for free for them. I'm like, well, if they monetized everybody from the time that they first started a YouTube channel, they'd be paying just about everybody.
Well, and that's not true either, because they don't put ads on your videos in that time frame.
Right.
So they're not making money off of you.
Right.
That's a very common misconception. That's a very good point to bring up.
Yeah.
Like if you watch a video of a channel that's not monetized, there's no ads on it. So they're not putting ads on your video if you're not monetized yet. They would have to pay you for that. They're making sure that your videos are ad worthy. That's what you're putting that content. And the bottom line is, those videos, the minute you get monetized, you can go back and monetize those videos. As long as they don't have copyright or anything like that going on. Right. The day you get monetized, you can go back and turn monetization on for every video you've ever posted.
Every single one.
And then that opens them up to allow them. So I talked in that video about evergreen videos. So if you've got a video that got you to your 1,000 subscribers and got you those 4,000 watch hours, and it's still rolling on through, you can monetize it. You can make money on that video once you're in the partner program. It's such a grind to get there. And I talked about how spirit crushing it could be when you finally get, because it's a grind to get there, to become monetized, become a YouTube partner, and then you get there, and it's like for the first 3 months you might make $30 or something crazy. And like I use the expression, don't think that the day you get monetized somebody's going to show up with a confetti can and start shooting money at you.
Right.
That is not the way this works under any stretch of the imagination. The grind really starts once you get monetized.
Absolutely. And Google only pays us once a month.
Yep, one time a month.
And so you might have 20, 30, 40 videos up before you actually get monetized.
Well, and you have to hit that $100 threshold.
Exactly. So, that's another thing. So if you don't meet $100 threshold and you're monetized, you're not going to receive a check for that month. So now you have to try and get better with your content to where it draws people in, gets them to watch. Yeah. You gain that watch time. You have engagements on your channel, and then it all accumulates to where now you can actually make over $100, and Google will then pay you.
Yeah, and I do want to stress, because I didn't say this Monday, and it's one of the things I wish I'd have said in that little talk I had with everybody. When we say they don't pay you, they don't keep your money. Okay, so let's say the first month you're monetized, you make $20. Well, you didn't make enough to get a payout. That money sits in your AdSense account. They don't take it back.
Right.